Rome, the eternal city. Here you can see the ruins of one of the greatest empires on earth, the central hub of one of the most popular religions on earth, treasures of the late Renaissance period, and the precursor to some of today's modern architectural geniuses. Now imagine seeing all of these places under one roof, or one dome to be exact. The Pantheon in Rome is the only place where you can study architecture, view the most well-preserved structure of the ancient Roman Empire, witness the burial site of the first and last kings of Italy, as well as one of the Renaissance painters. After living in Rome for 3 years, I would spend about a year as a tour guide at the Pantheon, where I gave tours in and around the structure. Whether planning a vacation to the city or just curious about what's there, the Pantheon is the most significant and least difficult place to view everything important in the city. It was originally built as a pagan temple during the height of the Roman Empire. It contains the tombs of the father of the country and one of the famous painters of the Renaissance area. It contains one of the wonders of ancient architectural genius, its freestanding concrete dome and the oculus. Before we're inspired by what's inside the structure, let's go over how it was made. The Pantheon, a temple to all the gods, was completed in the year 126 CE in the reign of Emperor Hadrian. SmartHistory.org describes it as the Sphinx of the Campus Martis. You can see the Campus Martis, or Field of Mars, is right here, with the Pantheon right in the center. It's completed in the year 26 BCE by Marcus Agrippa in honor of his friend Augustus, who became the first emperor of Italy, or the first emperor of Rome. It was destroyed by fire in 80 CE and then rebuilt and destroyed again in the year 110 CE. The structure we see today is on the ruins of those ancient structures. It was built in a classical Greek-inspired porch, which features 16 Corinthian columns that are quarried in Egypt. They're 39 feet tall, has a spherical-shaped interior that's exactly as tall as it is wide, 142 feet. It makes a complete circle as tall as wide. RomanConcrete.org describes how it is a concrete comprised of limestone, volcanic ash, water, and small stones. The building has survived in its original condition for 1,892 years. It was originally a pagan temple, but after the fall of the Roman Empire, it was converted to a Christian church in the year 608. Today it is known as the Church of St. Mary and the Martyrs. There's still a mass that is conducted on Sunday mornings in Latin and Saturday afternoons in English. Since its construction, the Pantheon has been used to commemorate certain significant people in Italy's history by burying them inside. During the unification of Italy in the mid-1800s, the Italian government chose Victor Emmanuel II to be the first king of Italy in 1861. HeritageHistory.com details how he helped to form a united Italy through political appointments, treaties with neighboring countries, and military conquest, including the defeat of the Papal Army of Rome in 1871. This is Victor Emmanuel II at his swearing-in, taking the oath to become the king of Italy. Because of his contributions to Italy and forming the country, he is honored today by being buried inside. This is his tomb. As you see, Padre della Patria stands for Father of the Country. Upon his death in 1878, his son Umberto I became the next king of Italy. Re d'Italia stands for King of Italy. He is buried on the wall opposite from his father, and his wife Margherita is buried beneath him. She is also very honored and revered in the country. One of the most fascinating and inspiring periods of Europe was the Renaissance, or rebirth, that represented a transition from medieval Europe to early modern Europe. In Italy, this was between the years 1300 and 1600, produced some of the world's most renowned works of architecture, sculpture, art, and poems. Among the most famous of the Renaissance painters was Raphael Sanzio, who, according to his biography on RaphaelSanzio.org, is known as one of the Trinity of Masters. He is famous for his stanza or Raphael rooms that are inside the Vatican that he painted for Pope Julius II. His most famous of this is known as the School of Athens, which is featured here. There's a self-portrait of Raphael in the corner. His arch-rival Michelangelo is right here. And there's Leonardo da Vinci, who was his inspiration, his mentor. Upon his death in the year 1520, he was buried inside the Pantheon at his request. His tomb is featured here, next to where Umberto I is. The inscription on his tomb is written in Latin, translates to, "Here lies that famous Raphael, by whom nature feared to be conquered while he lived, and when he was dying, feared herself to die." The design of the Pantheon's famous dome continues to wow people even today. Monolithic.org describes the dome as being 27 feet in diameter. The oculus on top is 7.5 feet thick at its most narrow point. History.com describes the oculus as being a giant sundial, which on the equinoxes, which follows the path of the sun, and even on the equinoxes, would light up the entryway to the Pantheon where the emperor would come in, which would validate his divine right to be the emperor. The oculus on top forms a compression ring that strengthens the dome, reduces the weight of the dome, and provides 100% natural light for the inside of the structure. The structure of the Pantheon itself also continues to inspire architects even today, inspiring, famous in America, the rotunda of the University of Virginia that was built by Thomas Jefferson is designed in image of the Pantheon. Nowhere in Rome can you witness so much historically significant features in one location. From its test of time construction, preservation of the beauty of the ancient empire, resting place of some key historical figures, Pantheon remains one of the most important locations in all of Rome. It was originally a pagan temple that was converted to a Christian church. It holds the tombs of Italy's royal families, as well as one of the famous painters of the Renaissance era. And its dome's construction in oculus marks the movement of the sun and inspires architects today. To this day, the Pantheon still holds the record as the world's largest self-supporting concrete dome. It's the most well-preserved building of the ancient Roman Empire. It is one of the oldest concrete structures in the world. It's my favorite location in the entire city of Rome, and I promise after visiting it yourself, it'll be your favorite structure too.